Well, good morning, everybody. I'm already breathing hard. We just got dropped off and heading northbound, and as soon as we left the roadside, we had probably a 100-foot climb, from dead stop. So still a little winded. So I was looking at my video from last night, and I made a big mistake. I was saying, once you get to mile number 1026, life is good. Well, 1026 is like West Virginia. So we're in Maine. It's 2026. And I'm sure most of you saw that and were screaming at your screen saying 2026. So anyway, never mind. Today we are standing at mile number 2026. Actually, 2027 now. And from here, the terrain should be much more welcoming and gentle on the knees. So the plan for today is we're gonna head, I believe it's 16.6 miles north. Might end up being 16.3. The reason I say that is there is a shelter at 16.3, and I might end up staying there. But there's at 16.6, there is a camp. Essentially, someone owns a camp for fishermen, and he rents cabins, and he provides breakfast for hikers and all that sort of stuff. And if I can actually get into a cabin, then I'll stay there. Because it's weekend, I may not. And if that be the case, then I'll come back and I'll just stay at the shelter. So I'll probably go straight to the camp and see if I can secure accommodations, because I know I'll be racing against a lot of weekenders. So we'll see. But either way, whether I'm staying there or I'm staying at the shelter, then I'll definitely come back there for breakfast in the morning, because he's kind of got a famous pancake breakfast, and I'd like to have some of that. So that's the plan for today. Marching forward, hopefully maintaining is at least 2 miles an hour on this trail and making good time. I'm gonna project being at the camp by 3 or 3:30, and hopefully that's soon enough to secure a place at the camp. So we'll see. All right, I hope everybody's having an awesome day so far, and we will look forward to seeing you down this beautifully smooth trail, a footpath north to Mount Katahdin. Have a great day. All right, everybody, we have made it to the edge of Flagstaff Lake. I'm hearing a bird scream in the background, but it's not the loon sound that I've been looking for. I think that might be a loon out there on the water. I don't know if you guys can see that far. Right near that point, see a bird sitting on the surface. Some still water. Flagstaff Lake. There's our loon. caught on camera. I wish I could zoom further. And then he dives. And he's gone. All right, everybody. This trail is a great deal easier than what I've experienced, that's for sure. But it doesn't mean it doesn't come with hills, at least in the early part. I think there are some pretty flat spots, you know, as you head further north, but we're still kind of in a bit of a transition from the big mountains to the flat. And I'm heading uphill right now, gradually. It's a 2,000 foot hill with no name, essentially, and we're about 500 feet from the top. Just gradual climbing, but it's a workout, that's for sure. But sure easier than climbing a Bigelow, I can tell you that. For sure. Oh, all right, making progress. Keep you posted as we head further up the path. This is called West Carey Pond, and I don't know how they differentiate between a lake and a pond around here for sure, because some they call a lake, some they call a pond, and they're all big. Pretty place. I see some people who have maybe homes and boats along the edges. Right there in the middle of the screen, you see a loon on the water. They just dove. Pretty cool. I want to hear one. I've seen one now. Just need to hear one. Well, we got a little historical spot here. I hadn't seen this since we left, you know, like New Hampshire and Pennsylvania, etc. But this is called the Great Carrying Place. In 1775, the Arnold Expedition Portage Route. It's kind of what we've been hiking along. I've seen some tags on some of the trees. It says in 1775, a small American army of about 1,000 soldiers under the command of Benedict Arnold passed over a 13-mile Great Carrying Place between the Kennebec River and Dead Rivers. Colonel Arnold and several companies encamped here on October the 14th, 1775. On the following day, they crossed West Carey Pond in their bateau and continued over the steep ridge to the west and on to the Dead River. They then proceeded through the wilderness to attack their goal, Quebec. The Appalachian Trail between Middle and West Carey Ponds precisely follows the old Portage Trail. Okay, so I guess we're following the same trail as did Colonel Benedict Arnold back in October of 1775. There you go. History. Okay, folks, we're not making great progress. I'm gonna be honest with you. My legs feel. The trail hasn't been too tough. It has had some probably more uphill than I envisioned it having. Lots of roots and lots of rocks. So it's not really been necessarily the smoothest trail to navigate, that's for sure. But it's not been bad. It's not been bad at all, really. I don't want to sound like I'm complaining. But moreover, I think it's just I'm tired, y'all, to be honest with you. My legs feel like, sometimes people out here, they call them zombie legs, where they're just shuffling, you know, they're just moving along at a kind of a slow pace, and you're just kind of pressing to move forward. Really, you're not. I mean, going really fast today would. There's potential of doing that. I think if you're good at stepping over rocks and roots, but I'm just not feeling it today, to be honest with you. It's one of those days I feel like I'm lacking energy, and my legs just feel kind of exhausted, to be honest with you. So I guess the other thing to note is I'm probably just going to the shelter tonight, and I'm not going to worry with trying to get to that camp. I know by the time I would get there, chances are it'd be filled anyway, and it is first come first serve. So I'll just go to the shelter and maybe put up a tent and relax right there. So I can still get over there and go to breakfast in the morning without staying there. That's not a requirement. And if that be the case, the shelter will be there when I get there, whether it be 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock or whatever. So I'm not really pushing to be anywhere at a certain time. So that gives me more reason to go slow, I guess. But right now I am just kind of meandering through these Maine woods. Slowly but surely we'll get there. We do have less than 10 miles to go, probably about 9.5. So we're making progress. We're just not necessarily going as fast as I envision going. So, hope everybody's having a good day thus far. And we'll catch up with you further down the path. All right, everybody, got us a boardwalk. I haven't seen one of these in quite some time. Didn't anticipate this in Maine for sure. New Jersey, yep. New York, yep. But Maine, this is pretty cool. I'm sure when this area is flooded, it is extremely essential to have this boardwalk. It looks pretty dry right now, except right here at this creek or whatever it is. Nice. Very nice. All right, everybody, it's 11:30. I think I'm gonna pull off up here under the shade and probably try to get me some energy food in me and keep on pressing on from there. I think I need a break. All right, everybody, just a quick check-in here. We're about a mile from our shelter, and man, I feel a lot better than I did this morning. I just was kind of in a fog. I think just stopping, sitting down, having a lot to drink, and getting some food in me made a difference. One thing I will tell you is while the map shows that this trail is easier, the app does. It basically gives you a profile where they'll show you, if there's hills or flat and what the elevation gains and losses are. It shows that this is a pretty easy hike. The thing that it obviously cannot tell you is the amount of debris or rocks or mud or you know, roots and things of that nature that might be on a seemingly flat trail. And while you're not exerting as much in terms of climbing, you're still working around, you know, all the obstacles as part of that. So, but hey, I went through northern Pennsylvania. There's not much that they can throw at me at this point that I haven't seen already. You know, if you can deal with all the rocks in Pennsylvania, you certainly can deal with some mud and some roots and some rocks in Maine. So it's no big deal. In fact, I've been able to keep pretty good time. We'll end up getting to the shelter a little after 3:15, 3:20, something like that maybe. So overall, my speed has been kind of what I hoped it would be when we first started to hike this morning. So it's been okay. All right, I got one fella behind me that he and I've crossed paths, I don't know, 10 times since Pennsylvania. He calls himself the dude, but he's I believe he's from New Zealand or Australia, one or the other. I can't never keep that straight. But he's in his 60s, and he's a pretty strong hiker. And we're going to connect up here at the shelter. He believes in order for us to get breakfast, we need to go on over there tonight if we don't have phone signal and make reservations for that pancake breakfast, which I'm willing to do. It's only 2/10 of a mile, so might be walking further even after the end of the day, just to ensure you know where the priorities are, just to ensure we're set for breakfast tomorrow. So that's something we might be doing this evening. But that's all in front of us for now. The focus is working through these rocks and finding our way to the shelter. All right, hope everybody's having a good day, and we'll catch up with you as we get closer to the shelter. All right, everybody. We have made it to our home for the evening. This is Harrison's fishing camp. So this is where people come. They stay a weekend or whatever, and then they get out on the pond or the lake, and they do whatever they want to in terms of catching fish and hang out here at this camp. And the main camp itself, with the kitchen and the place where you get the breakfast, is down there in that building. Maybe I can show that a little bit later. But while I was here, I just went ahead and asked. I said, "So, how's the lodging? Got any spaces available?" He said, "Yeah, he said, I got a cabin for you." So he put me here in this cabin. So excited to be here. Understand there's no electricity here. Okay, so there is some. It's all run on generators, and but guess what? There's none at the shelter either, or in my tent. So this is not that bad of a step down, to be honest with you. There is a flushing toilet in there, and there are two bathhouses here. So I'm gonna take a shower. You don't get that over there at the shelter. And yeah, I'm gonna settle in and go fix myself some dinner. And I look forward to the pancake breakfast first thing in the morning, because it's included with the price. So today was a good day, I thought. It's the trail was a little bit rougher, honestly, than I expected it was. I'm here with a guy I started out this morning with, young guy. He's 35. He's fast, but he's got a cabin as well, one of these, and we both agreed that the trail is a little bit tougher than we anticipated it being, but it's still a lot easier than what we've been doing for the past month, for sure. So thankful for that. I think it's 16.4 miles maybe in total today. So it was good to continue to have 2 days of plus 16 miles. Tomorrow's going to be a little bit lighter day, but we'll talk about tomorrow. It's just the way it kind of worked out, but we'll talk about that a little bit more tomorrow, because it is a little interesting day that we have tomorrow, that we have to get across the Kennebec River, and there's a lot of traditional things you have to do here, and all those things kind of eat up time, so it'll be a slower day for most people, I believe. All right, so with that being said, I might get some video down there. You know, there are some guys down there and they may not appreciate it, so this might be where this video ends. But I hope everybody's had a great day, and we'll look forward to catching up with you first thing in the morning.